which is weird.
Yes, yes,
This
yes.
is a brand new design that frees up
Yes.
even more pixels for personalization, and even features that help you keep.
Alright, let's pop this one up.
Usually,
We're gonna get
even
this
when it was
to
smoking,
get a
like when
roundabout.
my airport was smoking, it smelled and it travels together.
The streamer who got banned on Twitch for calling Frogan
Which is why my alarm thing
calorically enhanced.
my alarm
says
is
that he's
always.
about to be permanently banned from Twitch.
I've been told by an insider that I will be permanently banned from Twitch within the month. And if we do, I'll be streaming on YouTube every day. Not worried about it. Not worried about it. So I've officially started counting down. Which on 30 days I'll be permanently banned. We will see.
From evading Tecton, when people like Hassan Denims and Frogan on the website, literal extremist terrorist supporters spouting vile stuff every day.
Well, the issue with Twitch is it's nothing to do with policy. It's all to do with popularity and all to do with clubs. Twitch, as long as I can remember, has been a club. It's a few moderators and a few people in leadership, and it's all club. YouTube's a huge corporation. I can ship blood live, and no one's gonna really notice. You know what I'm saying? YouTube doesn't really care. You tell the line, you're fine. Twitch, on the other hand, the leadership at Twitch is actually friends with the top creators and their acquaintances. And Hassan and all those people are friends with the CEO of Twitch. They like know each other and hang out with each other a lot. So yeah, they can do whatever they want. They're not gonna be banned. It's not a real platform. It's completely fake. It's like celebrity culture.
But anyways, let's move on to the main event, H3H3 versus Hassan debate. And I wanted to start off with this clip of Hassan accidentally admitting that he supports terrorists. Hassan first calling out Ethan for being sponsored by Shopify. Also sponsored by Shopify.
So I want to say, first of all, thank you to Shopify for sponsoring us. I also want to say
Shopify sponsoring terrorism by way of, well, I guess they sponsor podcasts. To be fair, so that's not surprising.
Hassan, your stream is live. I don't think you were supposed to admit that you
It's just yeah, Hassan don't.
You actually support terrorism by against her. Is Hassan just to admit to promoting terrorism? Yes, actually. Anyways, let's get to the streak confronting Hassan about IDEM's content cop and how he left out the most important context about people following CBS on Ethan's kids.
A little bit of a...
This song's for you. Turn it up. This show must
Took
go
his
on.
wife's last name. He also cried at the end of the content call because he said his wife got bullied online. And he saw what happened to our kids.
Oh.
It was free, so I said, fuck it, might as well. I had never really played a Ghostbusters game before. I think I only played one, and that was a long time ago. I don't even remember what system it was for.
I never paid one.
Huh?
I said I never paid one.
I haven't played any of the new ones. This is, I think, it's one of the new ones. I think this one is, but I don't play any of the new ones. I've only played, like, I've only played one of the old ones before, and like the old one had, like, you know, Slimer, you know, and shit like that.
I would not be surprised
Here to
find
crash
out
the party?
he got
Keep
involved.
up.
you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you if you think it's okay that people call CPS. I asked in the video that you participated in. There's a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast. CPS got called on me and didn't even put the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should take this up with iDubbbz instead of me.
Okay, sure. Ask me a question.
Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions, and
Can you tell which app is a trap?
Plagiarism.
Like a good neighbor, stay home is there. Jason, say hi.
I know I'm late on this. Been a bit busy. Finally have a little bit of time to talk about the long
Wonderful. We meet again. Turn it up.
perfect rating done. But now's probably the best time, if ever, to get such mom during the Unleashed rating. Now then, unfortunately, the turnaround time seems to be 4 to 5 years per kit. So that's kind of like the major bummer. My first impressions while looking at it from promotional photos, I gotta say this Bandai does a terrible job taking photos of these kids at this stage of their existence, because it doesn't really. It's clear that
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music. Conquer us all.
That was wildly popular, and they just sort of, took some liberties from that, but kept it aesthetically.
You don't look so cool. Gotta get those vitamins.
Longer. You know, the thigh section, so it had that Murkoff look.
Time to
It feels slightly
What,
homey.
senor?
That ship
Prescription!
tools for sanding my necessity. Here's some tools from Despy, Display, whatever you want to call them. MacWorks and David Union. Prices range from cheap to the not so cheap. So let's just get this started.
Turn up the volume.
I've been 3D printing on and off since 2019. I ran into countless issues over the years, but the biggest issue for many of those failures was the temperature. Resin works best between 25 Celsius and 35 Celsius, but actually it's more like 77 degrees to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Living in an area with cooler climates makes 3D printing a challenge, especially during the winter season. You can get around that by increasing exposure times, but this makes the resin more brittle, and it ruins some of the details due to overexposure. Not to mention, it makes printing figures take hours longer than they normally would. The Uniformation GK2 solves all of these issues with a built-in heater, a far better option than sticking a mini heater inside of your print chamber, or a hot box. The hot box is fine if you have the space for it, which I don't. The build quality of this printer is the best I've ever handled personally. A solid metal body, completely different than anything I was used to before. The build plate is a latch system that's so easy to take apart and reattach, you can do it with one hand. Not to mention, this is a solid hunk of metal, basically. The vat slides in and out of place. There's no more need for knobs and screws. The vat also comes with a tray top if you're anything like me and you're lazy and you feel like leaving your resin inside of it, or placing it someplace else to print later since you have more than one vat. The window folds upwards. I love this. Rather than pulling off the dome and looking for someplace to place it, I can now just pop it up and slide it back down. I can no longer return to a printer that doesn't have this feature. The specs are what you'd expect from most mid-sized printers today. This is an 8K screen, more than enough for amazing prints on miniatures or whatever you choose to do in this day and age. I find the printer even has some better details than my 12K printer due to the square pixels. A 10.3-inch screen. The vat holds 7 kilograms, or as we in America call it, 1.5 pounds of resin. Liquid resin, you know what I'm talking about. It has an air purifier component. Compared to how I was printing before, this is a massive improvement in air quality. And the best part is, they're readily available and simple to install. There's a Wi-Fi module, just in case you want to upload your prints directly to the printer itself. I'm a USB kind of guy. Speaking of which, all the STI files download from your USB to the storage drive on the printer itself. Just in case there's a failure, installing a new screen is simple as
simplest I've ever seen before. If you look at the GK2 YouTube page showing you how to replace the screen just in case you break and there's no resin on it, it's as simple as changing one USB cable wire and you're done. It comes pre-leveled from the factory, so you really don't have to mess with it. It also has your usual items that you get when you buy a new 3D printer. The best part is this rubber spatula thingy that's fantastic for mixing old resin you just left inside of the bag. And they give you 1 year free subscription to G2 Box Pro. I should mention that Uniformation also gave me the curing station and the ultrasonic cleaner. I'll probably cover these later on. But the overall consensus that I've gathered online discourse about it is the ultrasonic cleaner is pretty legit. Once I set up the Uniformation GK2, I was able to use its frozen 8K record using an exposure time of 0.75 seconds. That had the least overexposure. This is under a second. After I finished a few test prints, I hammered out some Dragon Ball Z prints. Let's see. Also, one of them is by on help reading. You'll see some layer line issues, but that has more to do with me not setting up the printer correctly than anything else. As I've stated before, I'm not the best at 3D printing. It's kind of like something I do on the side every now and then for my own enjoyment and amusement. But for the first time since